Okay, now this is the fitting instructions for the Pyramid F800 and F650 GS hugger. Plastic component in a satin black finish with a couple of technical brackets on it. These brackets mount to the left and the right hand side of the front of the swinging arm. We're supplying you with all the screws etc. that you require to fit them, and you'll get written instructions in the kit. So that's basically what you will receive. The first job is to take off the chain guard and the brake hose guide. Chain guard down here and the brake hose guide at the forward end of the swinging arm. Okay, so we've got the chain guard and the brake hose guide removed, and I've now assembled onto the hugger the two brackets that are provided in the kit with the 4 stainless steel socket screws. So now you've got that in position. It's easier to put the hugger onto the bracket first rather than assemble the brackets onto the bike and then try and fit the hugger. Right, we're on the left hand side of the bike now, and this is the side we're going to fit the hugger on first. So it's this bracket here we're going to mount on this side. The brake hose guide has been removed. I've got a 20mm M6 socket screw here with a 6mm flat washer and an 8mm flat washer underneath it. That's the one that's going to go at the front, tight up underneath there. To the rear is another 20mm M6 socket screw with just one M6 flat washer underneath it. So I'm going to offer that up in there now. Just get the cables, the brake hose underneath, and put it roughly in position like that. Okay. Okay, I'm starting here with the forward fixing first. So I've got the bracket lined up over the top, and I'm feeling, just carefully putting the stud, the socket, screw in and catching the threads. There's not a lot of room, but it can be done. That's now in loosely, and I'm tightening it up with finger and thumb, leaving a good gap. At this point I need to get hold of the brake hose guide, lay it on top of the guide, on top of the brake hose, get a screwdriver and get underneath those two washers and lift them out the way so that the brake hose guide can pass underneath it like that. It's now retained at the front, and I can get in there with an Allen key and just tighten that up a little bit. In fact, it's going with my fingers at the moment. I'm not looking to tighten it at this stage, just to nip it a little bit. So that's in position now. I'm now going to the back, getting my M20 with the single washer on it, the single M6 washer on it. And I'm just aligning everything. Easier said than done, of course. Like that's good. There it goes. Don't get it cross-threaded because it's a nightmare. That's gone in. Again, I'm just going to take that to the point where it's near tight but not tight. If that makes any sense. Okay, so that is the left-hand side in place. As I say, making sure both those washers are above the plastic guide for the brake hose. That's the key, by getting hold of them, lifting them with that screwdriver as you saw there. Right, we're on the right hand side of the bike now. We've got the left hand side fitted loosely. The bracket on this side picks up on the forward chain guard mounting there, and also under there on the top of the chain rubbing strip. This plastic moulded piece here is the guard that protects the swinging arm from the chain as it runs. It's a runner for the chain. It's mounted at the back there with two socket screws which fit into what I describe as steel cups, I suppose. The rear one there, you need to take the fastener out, which I'm doing now. Take the socket screw out. Okay. And there is the little steel cup I'm talking about. Just drop the washer in there, so I'm getting rid of that. You don't need that. We're supplying all the fasteners on this, so you'll get them all in the kit. So there's the steel cup. Into that will go this little spacer that you'll find in your kit, in your fitting kit. So, and with that, an M5 by 20mm socket screw there, and an M6 washer, flat washer underneath it. So I'm putting the spacer into the pressed steel cup. I'm dropping it back in where it's positioned on the chain rubbing, the plastic chain rubbing strip, and then I'm following it through with this M5 stud. Fiddly. I think I've got it in position. I've got the right sort of thing for the job really. This is ideal, this Allen key. Again, I've got to avoid it getting cross-threaded. So that's, I've positioned that now. I know that's in the right sort of position. I can now take the screw and the washer away, put them down, and bring the bracket into position there. Okay. Drop it back in again. Hopefully at the line again like it did a moment ago. There we are. That's got a good slot in the bracket, so there's plenty of movement, and I've got it attached. It's caught the threads, and that little spacer will sit underneath the bracket on the hugger to stop it crushing down. Give positive location. Okay, so that's loose, as you can see now. I've now got this one to locate here, this second one. So what I'm now going to do is put the chain guard back on and pick up with this M6 by 25 socket screw through there into the second fixing on this bracket. Right, here's the chain guard going back on. There are 3 mountings for the chain guard, 1, 2 and a third one there which should have loosened. You don't need to actually remove that forward one completely because the chain guard is slotted. That slot allows you just to drop it in. So as long as that forward one is loose, it'll be fine. Drop that back in there on the slot. Pick up on these two. In fact, I'll put the back one in first just to hold things in position loosely. Again, this is an M6 by 12 socket screw that we've supplied in the kit for you. There's the M6 by 25. That goes through there. Easier with your fingers. So that's now picking up that hole in the bracket. Don't go all the way, and actually I've done that. I've gone too far with that because put your finger behind there and you'll feel the stud poking through the bracket, back of the bracket, the hugger bracket. So it's gone through the threaded portion on the casting of the swinging arm, and it's now just level, just beyond flush with the back of the hugger bracket. I've got a plain M6 nut there, no washer, just the plain nut, then the fiddly bit of getting that to sit onto the threads on the back of this. Once that's in position, should be able to tighten it. It's fiddly, but once it catches, it's straightforward. It's on. Okay. I'm just going to leave that loose at the moment. Get behind here and pick up. In fact, if you lift the chain, you can see it. Pick up on that inner mounting, which is just there, and tweak that down, because we've got the position now. So that one is now tight. Recommend these. The forward one will be tight. Tighten that one. Give that a tweak. Then you want an open-ended 10mm spanner, and if you drop in from the top, you can actually see the nut from behind. Get on it and give it a twist. So that's that point mounted firmly and that point mounted firmly. You can see the hugger's now virtually in position. While we're on this side, we'll just tighten this last one down at the back. That's the right hand side fitted.